In nature, small creatures like bees play an incredibly important role in maintaining life on our planet. They are not only honey producers but also invaluable pollinators for millions of plant species. European honeybees are highly social insects. They live in large colonies with a structured hierarchy, including the queen bee, worker bees, and drones. This is the main honeybee species in the US and globally. It was introduced to the Americas in the 17th century by European explorers. The European honeybee is widely used in the honey production industry and for pollinating agricultural crops. This species is known for its ability to form large colonies, live in stable hives, and produce large amounts of honey. There are several subspecies of the European honeybee, including Italian bee, Apis mellifera ligustica, the most common bee species in the U.S., known for its gentle nature, good honey production, and ease of management. Carniolan bee, Apis mellifera carnica, known for its resistance to cold weather and calm temperament. Caucasian bee, Apis mellifera caucasica, notable for its high production of propolis, which is used to seal hive gaps. Next, let's learn about the Asian honeybee, Apis cerana. This species is commonly found in tropical and subtropical regions of Asia, from India to Japan. The Asian honeybee plays an essential role in pollinating local flora and contributes to honey production. Although often overshadowed by its European counterpart, Apis mellifera, Apis cerana has unique characteristics that make it well suited to its native environment. The Asian honeybee is smaller in size compared to the European honeybee. Workers of Apis cerana typically measure about 10 to 12 millimeters, while the queen can reach a length of 15 to 17 millimeters. The smaller size of the Asian honeybee allows it to be more agile, enabling it to navigate through dense vegetation and access smaller flowers that other bees might find challenging. Their body is covered with fine hair, aiding in the collection of pollen, and they display a striped pattern similar to the European honeybee, although their stripes are usually more subtle. Their wings are slightly narrower, contributing to their characteristic swift and precise flight patterns. Asian honeybees are slightly smaller than their European counterparts and are better at resisting parasites like the varroa mite. However, they produce less honey compared to European honeybees. We cannot forget the giant honeybee, Apis dorsata, a species well known in Southeast Asia. As the name suggests, this is the largest honeybee species with a body length of about 17 millimeters. The giant honeybee, Apis dorsata, is one of the largest honeybee species in the world, native to South and Southeast Asia. These bees are known for their impressive size, with worker bees reaching up to 17 to 20 millimeters in length and their distinctive open-air nests. Unlike other honeybees that build hives in enclosed spaces, giant honeybees create large, single-comb nests that hang from tall trees, cliffs, or buildings. These combs can be over a meter in diameter, supporting colonies that may contain tens of thousands of bees. Apis dorsata is renowned for its aggressive defense mechanisms. When threatened, The entire colony can attack in swarms, making it a formidable species. Despite their ferocity, giant honeybees are important pollinators, contributing to the health of many ecosystems. They also produce honey, which has been harvested by humans for centuries, though the practice is often risky due to the bees' aggressive nature. These bees play a crucial role in the biodiversity of their native regions, though habitat loss and human encroachment pose challenges to their survival. Another tiny species is the dwarf honeybee, Apis florea. These bees are much smaller than the European honeybee and are found mainly in Southeast Asia and South Asia. Worker bees typically measure between 7 to 10 millimeters in length, significantly smaller than most other honeybee species. They are known for building small, single-comb nests on low tree branches, shrubs, or human-made structures. These nests are usually exposed, making Apis florea highly vulnerable to predators. However, their small size allows them to inhabit areas where larger honeybees cannot, making them more adaptable to diverse environments. Apis florea is a vital pollinator for many wild plants, contributing to local ecosystems, but unlike larger honeybee species, they produce smaller quantities of honey. Their honey is often harvested by local communities in traditional ways, though it is not commercially exploited due to the lower yield. Despite their tiny size, Apis florea is known for its resilience and ability to thrive in hot, arid environments where other species might struggle. However, like many bees, they face threats from habitat loss and climate change. Honeybees, belonging to the genus Apis, are vital components of ecosystems across the globe. Their impact is primarily observed in their roles as pollinators, contributing to biodiversity, food production, and the stability of ecosystems. Although honeybees are often associated with agriculture due to their importance in crop pollination, their ecological significance extends far beyond farms. This article explores the intricate role that honeybees play in ecosystems, how they contribute to biodiversity, and the challenges they face, all of which have profound implications for the health of our environment. At the core of honeybees' ecological function is their role as pollinators. Pollination is a critical process in the reproduction of many flowering plants, where pollen is transferred from the male part of the flower, anther, to the female part, stigma, enabling fertilization. Honeybees are among the most efficient pollinators due to their behavior and physiology. When foraging for nectar and pollen, honeybees inadvertently collect pollen on their bodies and transfer it between flowers, facilitating cross-pollination. Approximately 75% of the world's flowering plants and around 35% of global food crops depend on pollinators like honeybees. In ecosystems, this pollination service supports the reproduction of wild plants, many of which form the basis of food chains. The seeds, fruits, and vegetation that result from bee-pollinated plants serve as food for countless animals, including insects, birds, and mammals. In this way, honeybees help maintain the balance of ecosystems, ensuring that plants reproduce and sustain other species. Biodiversity. The variety of life in a particular habitat or ecosystem largely depends on the pollination activities of honeybees. By enabling plant reproduction, honeybees contribute to genetic diversity within plant species. This diversity is crucial for plant adaptation to changing environmental conditions, such as climate change, disease, and habitat loss. Without honeybees and other pollinators, many plant species would fail to reproduce effectively, leading to a decline in plant diversity. This loss would trigger a ripple effect through ecosystems, as plants form the foundation of most ecological networks. Fewer plants would mean less food and shelter for herbivores, which would, in turn, affect predators and other higher-level organisms. While honeybees play a critical role in natural ecosystems, their contributions to agriculture are perhaps the most well-known. In agricultural systems, honeybees are responsible for pollinating crops that are vital to human diets. Some of the most important crops that rely on honeybee pollination include almonds, apples, blueberries, cucumbers, melons, and sunflowers. These crops not only provide essential nutrients to humans, but also serve as important economic commodities. The relationship between honeybees and agriculture is symbiotic. Farmers depend on honeybees to increase crop yields, while honeybees benefit from the wide variety of nectar and pollen sources available in agricultural landscapes. Managed honeybee colonies are often transported to farms to provide pollination services during critical periods of crop blooming, a practice that supports the production of food on a large scale. However, the reliance on honeybees for pollination in agriculture highlights a growing concern. With the global population expected to increase, food security has become a pressing issue. The decline of honeybee populations due to factors like habitat loss, pesticide use, and disease could threaten global food supplies. A reduction in honeybee numbers would not only decrease agricultural productivity, but also raise food prices, leading to potential shortages. In addition to pollination, honeybees provide other important ecosystem services. One such service is the production of honey, beeswax, and propolis, all of which have cultural, medicinal, and economic value. Honey, in particular, has been used by humans for millennia as both a food source and a natural remedy. Beeswax is used in the production of candles, cosmetics, and other products, while propolis, a resinous substance collected by bees from tree buds, has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. Beyond their direct benefits to humans, honeybees also contribute to the health of ecosystems through their interactions with other species. For example, honeybees compete with other pollinators, such as native bees and butterflies, for floral resources. While this competition can sometimes be harmful to native pollinators, it also encourages the diversification of pollination strategies in plants, fostering a more resilient ecosystem. Moreover, honeybees are prey for many predators, including birds, mammals, and other insects. These predators help control honeybee populations, ensuring that their numbers do not become too large, which could lead to overpollination and disruption of plant reproduction cycles. Thus, Honeybees are an integral part of food webs, contributing to the overall balance of ecosystems. Despite their importance, honeybees face numerous challenges that threaten their populations and, consequently, the ecosystems they support. One of the most significant threats is habitat loss. As human populations expand and land is converted for agriculture, urban development, and industrial use, honeybees lose access to their natural habitats. This loss reduces the availability of diverse forage sources, weakening bee colonies and making them more susceptible to disease and other stressors. Pesticide use, particularly the widespread application of neonicotinoids, has also had a devastating impact on honeybee populations. These chemicals affect the nervous system of bees, impairing their ability to navigate, forage, and reproduce. Long-term exposure to pesticides can lead to colony collapse, a phenomenon in which the majority of worker bees disappear, leaving behind a queen and a few nurse bees unable to sustain the colony. Another major threat to honeybees is the spread of diseases and parasites such as the varroa mite, Varroa destructor, which feeds on the blood of bees and transmits harmful viruses. Varroa mites have become a significant problem for beekeepers worldwide, decimating colonies and requiring the use of chemical treatments that may have their own negative side effects. Climate change is another factor that poses a threat to honeybees. As temperatures rise and weather patterns become more erratic, the availability of floral resources may be affected. Changes in the timing of plant blooming or the loss of certain plant species due to shifting climates could reduce the forage options for bees, leading to starvation or weakened colonies. Efforts to conserve honeybee populations are critical for the health of both ecosystems and human societies. Conservation strategies include creating bee-friendly habitats, reducing pesticide use, and promoting sustainable agricultural practices. Urban beekeeping has also gained popularity, providing bees with new forage opportunities in cities while raising awareness about the importance of pollinators. In addition to conservation efforts focused on Apis mellifera, attention must also be given to wild bee species and other pollinators. While honeybees play a significant role in pollination, they are not the only species that contribute to this essential ecosystem service. Wild bees, such as bumblebees and solitary bees, often pollinate plants that honeybees cannot, and their conservation is equally important for maintaining biodiversity. Furthermore, researchers are exploring ways to breed honeybees that are more resistant to disease and environmental stressors. Selective breeding programs aim to produce bees that can withstand varroa mites, pesticides, and other threats without relying on harmful chemical treatments. Genetic diversity within honeybee populations is also crucial, as it allows bees to adapt to changing environmental conditions. In the long term, the survival of honeybees will depend on a combination of conservation efforts, sustainable farming practices, and public awareness. The importance of honeybees in maintaining ecosystems cannot be overstated, and their decline would have far-reaching consequences for biodiversity, food security, and the stability of natural systems. Honeybees are indispensable to ecosystems, agriculture, and human livelihoods. As pollinators, they support the reproduction of countless plant species, contributing to biodiversity and the health of ecosystems. Their role in agriculture ensures the production of many of the foods we rely on daily, while their interactions with other species help maintain ecological balance. However, honeybees are facing significant challenges, including habitat loss, pesticide use, and parasites like the varroa mite. The global decline in bee populations is threatening the balance of ecosystems. Pesticides, particularly neonicotinoids, have a profound and harmful impact on honeybees, which play a critical role in pollination and agriculture. These chemicals are commonly used in farming to protect crops from pests, but their side effects on bees are alarming. Neonicotinoids affect the central nervous system of insects, including bees, impairing their ability to navigate, forage, and communicate with their colonies. Bees exposed to these pesticides often struggle to find their way back to the hive, which weakens the colony and leads to reduced honey production and fewer healthy brood. Over time, this disorientation and stress can contribute to a phenomenon known as colony collapse disorder, CCD, where the majority of worker bees disappear, leaving behind a queen and a small number of nurse bees. Without enough foragers, the hive cannot sustain itself, leading to its eventual collapse. Moreover, long-term exposure to pesticides weakens bees' immune systems, making them more susceptible to diseases and parasites like the varroa mite. This combination of chemical exposure and biological stress is devastating to bee populations globally. Given honeybees' vital role in pollinating many of the crops humans rely on, the decline in their numbers poses a serious threat to food security. Reducing the use of harmful pesticides and adopting bee-friendly farming practices are crucial steps to protect these essential pollinators and the ecosystems they support. The varroa mite, varroa destructor, is one of the most serious threats to honeybee populations worldwide. These tiny, parasitic mites attach themselves to honeybees, feeding on their blood, hemolymph, and weakening their immune systems. The presence of varroa mites in a hive not only physically debilitates the bees, but it also makes them more vulnerable to viruses and diseases that can spread rapidly within the colony. Varroa mites are known carriers of viruses like the deformed wing virus, which leads to bees being born with deformed wings, unable to fly or forage for food. Varroa mites reproduce in the brood cells of honey bees, where the queen lays her eggs. As the young bees develop, the mites feed on them, further weakening the emerging brood. This cycle of parasitism severely affects colony health and productivity. Infested colonies experience reduced numbers of worker bees, lower honey production, and poor brood health, often leading to colony collapse if not treated. Beekeepers face significant challenges in controlling varroa infestations. While chemical treatments can reduce mite populations, overuse of these treatments can lead to mite resistance, making them less effective over time. Additionally, chemical treatments can sometimes harm the bees themselves. Integrated pest management strategies, which combine chemical treatments with other methods like introducing varroa-resistant bee strains, are increasingly being adopted to manage this threat. If left unchecked, varroa mites can devastate bee colonies, which has far-reaching consequences for ecosystems and agriculture. Since honeybees are essential pollinators, a decline in their populations affects food production and biodiversity. It's crucial for beekeepers and researchers to continue developing effective ways to combat varroa mites, ensuring the survival of honeybee colonies and the health of ecosystems they support. Protecting honeybees not only ensures that we continue to enjoy natural honey, but also helps sustain ecosystems worldwide. Join the effort to save bees by reducing pesticide use and creating bee-friendly environments. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Bee Farm Products for more fascinating videos about the world of bees.
Mm-hmm.